Hello and welcome to What's Up in Connecticut. I'm your host Brenda Peterson, and this week we are traveling to the Hartford Expo Center to meet with artist Roger Gandelman of West Rock Art Glass. Roger has been creating glass art for close to 30 years. This show will take you through the process of making art glass. So let's meet the man behind the glass.
Today I'm at the Expo Center in Hartford, Connecticut, and I'm about to introduce to you one of Connecticut's most prominent glass blowers, Roger Gandelman. Thanks so much for being with us today, Roger.
My pleasure.
We're at the Sugarloaf Crafts Festival in Hartford. As you can see, there are tons of vendors here. And we chose to talk with Roger because he's got some beautiful glass pieces that he works on. Roger Gandelman was born in New Haven, Connecticut in 1952. He attended University of Denver in 1971, University of Hartford in 1972 through 1973, Southern Connecticut State University in 1977, and the Penland School of Crafts in 1978. Roger Gandelman is an accomplished musician whose career started in the 1960s and early 70s, which involved traveling around the U.S. and Jamaica. As a guitar player and blues singer, he spent a fair bit of time in New Orleans. For 1 year in the latter part of his music career, Roger was Carly Simon's personal guitar instructor. Gandelman opened his own glass studio in 1974 called West Rock Glass and has not moved since. While he made a range of glass art pieces early in his career, he has focused solely on making unique, high-quality perfume bottles for the majority of the time since then. Roger's work can be found in a few selected museums around the country, such as the Sandwich Glass Museum in Sandwich, Massachusetts, New Bedford Glass Museum in New Bedford, Mass., Hudson River Museum in Yonkers, New York, and Slater Museum of Art in Norwich, Connecticut. Gandelman today still derives great pleasure from his music. He routinely records songs in his recording studio, singing and playing every instrument on the song. He then uses his audio mixing equipment to blend each recording into the same song. Once an artist, always an artist. Roger, I've had the opportunity of being able to see you blow a piece of glass in your shop, and you make it look really easy. When you do this, do you work with patterns that you already have, or are you working with ideas off of the top of your head? How do you go about making your vision come into a reality?
Well, with my glass, I don't just think up a design and make the piece. Usually I have to come up with an idea and I have to work on it and make a lot of pieces and just keep working and working and working on it until I finally perfect it. Each piece I make takes me a little closer to the finished product.
Oh, that's great. That's good. And I'd like to ask you a few different questions that I think maybe a few people in Connecticut would want to ask you. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay. What's the name of your business and when did it start?
It's West Rock Art Glass. I started glass blowing around 1972. West Rock Art Glass was about 1978. It was in New Haven, and now I'm in Branford, Connecticut under the same name.
Great. How long have you been creating art glass?
For about 30 years.
Wow, you are an expert. Now, how long does the glass that you work with stay workable?
You have to go to the furnace and heat it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then you go to the bench for about 30 seconds to a minute, then you have to run back to the furnace.
Now, I noticed by looking at some of these pieces here, like this, there are so many different colors that you have in the glass. How do you get those colors in there?
I decorate on clear glass with colored glass. And then after I get the decoration in there, I dip the whole thing in more clear glass. And the decoration ends up sandwiched between 2 layers of glass.
I have a question about the cut sides in some of the pieces of glass. Can you tell me how those get there?
Yeah, we facet the glass the next day. First the piece is blown, and then the next day we have diamond polishing wheels. We cut the glass and we have to go through 4 steps of polishing to get up to the final optical polish.
And how long does it take for a piece of glass to cool down once it's been completed?
When you finish making a piece of glass, if you let it cool down by itself, it'll explode. So we have to put it in a kiln overnight. The kiln is 50 degrees below the temperature that the glass melts at. And we bring it down 100 degrees an hour, which takes about 8 hours, 9 hours.
Okay, and over your career, how many different pieces would you say that you've made?
Oh, God.
Tough question, huh?
How many grains of sand is there at the beach? Thousands of perfume bottles, of perfume bottles, and I found a home for every single one.
Would you say that you have a specific target audience, or is there somebody that...
Probably half of the people that buy my glass are knowledgeable collectors. They're perfume bottle collectors or art glass collectors. But it's also a really good gift item, so a lot of people buy the glass just so they can give it as a gift.
Well, now that we have talked to Roger and looked at his elegant display of work, let's go into his shop and watch him create a piece of glass from start to finish.
We're just preparing for the piece right now. We gotta wait about 5 minutes. Okay, good to go. Okay, you all ready? Okay, I'm gonna start now. Piece of glass here, yeah, I'm picking up. Now I'm going to let this cool for a minute, and then I'm going to dip it in more clear glass. And the color... I'm going to go, so you might want to try this. You can get a shot of it going in without the rod hitting. Good. This wooden block shapes the glass. It cools it down and it shapes it. Now it goes on. put a groove in it now. This is where it's going to break off the pipe later. It's where the neck is going to be. Next, I want to stretch the piece out. I'm going to do that by swinging the piece, using centrifugal force to stretch it. Use the newspaper to shape the piece. Flatten the bottom. Now I'm going to break it off the pipe. Watch out. This has to be dead center. The water's going to cut the glass. The water on the file. Apply gold. finished. A little bit of water will break it off.
Pinks and the yellows. This is like what we were talking about in the interview. You've got this cut piece of glass here. It's a flat surface. If you look at some of these other pieces, most of them are rounded out or have like this piece here. There. It's got a design that goes around the side of it. Really nice, intricate and detailed work here. Roger, do you have a specific piece that's your favorite?
Yeah, I have a few.
Which?
I like the faceted floral pieces. I like this piece right here. The iridescence on the outside, and it's cut and polished with an encased floral decoration.
Yeah, I mean,
that's one of my newest designs actually. And then I like these faceted pieces here. They have two facets in front, two in back. I like the optical effect you get when you move around it.
I love this with the gold out here and like
those remind me of Fabergé eggs.
Yeah, it looks really delicate
the Russian
too.
eggs with the jewels on them.
Yeah, and these as well. Just a lot of character. The color and the beads on the inside. It's really nice.
Sometimes I think I'm almost schizophrenic because each one's a totally different personality. The ones with the dots have nothing to do with the floral bounds.
Yeah. This is neat here. Oh, it's heavy. This is heavy, this piece. How do you gauge, what do you do? I mean, how do you get that in there?
Each stopper is ground in separately so the bottle's airtight and the stopper fits the bottle. A lot of people ask me how much perfume it holds. I don't have an
Yeah,
answer.
that was
I don't
my
have an
next question,
answer for it because what I do is the interior bubble, the hollow section.
Yep.
I expand that until I think the bottle looks good. So each bottle has a different size bubble inside. And then I let the people pick out what they want. Some people want a small bubble or some people want a large one,
Yeah.
depending on what they're going to put in it.
I mean, not even, regardless of whether or not they're actually used for perfume, they're just
Right.
beautiful pieces of artwork that can be used.
I think about half of the people put perfume in them. Half of them
I
don't.
don't want to drop that.
Oh, that's all right. I'll just make another one.
These are neat too. Check out the spots in there. It's yellow and purple. It's pretty incredible. I love the iridescence on this piece here. It's really amazing.
You know what? The other ones
I want to be sure to be pretty gentle with these. Roger said that this is real gold plating on here as well. This is not paint, this is real gold plating. It's awesome. This is gorgeous. Check that out. That is so awesome. This is definitely very different from any of the other pieces that he has here because I haven't noticed anything that's quite as dark in the center here. This is really pretty.
Excuse the interruption, ladies and gentlemen, but will David Jaffe
I'm Brenda Peterson, your host for What's Up in Connecticut, and please join us next week with a new episode.
That's our show for this week, and thanks so much for joining us. Our goal is to bring you the most interesting people, places, and things throughout Connecticut. If you have an idea for a show, we would love to hear about it. To contact us or to learn more about What's Up in Connecticut, visit us on the web at thatvideoguide.com.